Hi everyone, welcome back to Ginatopia. Well, I've been asked to show my eyeshadow palette collection, so let's just get started. I've got over 100 eyeshadow palettes, and I'm going to try to do it in about 30 minutes because I hate long videos myself, so let's just get started. The first one I got is by Rimmel. This is the Spice Edition, and this is new to my collection. I haven't tried it yet, so let's just look at it. And if anybody wants any demonstrations or tutorials on any of these, let me know. So that's a Rimmel one. This is the LA Colors Flirty Eyeshadow Palette. I bought this to do a video on, and I haven't done it yet. I was going to do all makeup under $5, and there's what that palette looks like. This can be purchased at Family Dollar. Here is my Violet Boss Pro, the Holy Grail palette. This palette I've only used a time or two. I really need to drag this out and try this palette. I don't know why I haven't really done that. It's just for some reason, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Here is my Laura Sanchez The Moods palette. Absolutely beautiful. This palette kind of makes me want to go a little bit wild. I think that palette's pretty cute. I like it. I don't know why I haven't tried it yet. Here is the Douce palette by Juvia's Place. I think this palette is really, really pretty. My niece Erica got me this palette. And I can get neutral looks out of this palette. I can get bolder looks out of this palette. And this green right here is absolutely gorgeous. Love this palette. That is my only Juvia's Place palette. I have two Milani palettes here. If you've not tried Milani palettes, you really need to give these palettes a try. The best place to get these, as much as I hate to say it, is at Walmart, because they're $15 at Walmart and they're $20 most everywhere else. But this is the Most Loved Mattes, and this is a really, really pretty palette. That's the Most Loved Mattes, and here is the Soft and Sultry. This is a palette that's pretty new to my collection. I have bought this and haven't tried it yet. I maybe should put this in a giveaway, where I haven't even tried it yet, but it's a beautiful brown neutral palette. I'm not really doing any color swatches, kind of save time. If you see something, like I said, that you would like to see more of, let me know. This is a palette that I got at Dollar General. This is a $3 palette. This is a LA Color Nudes. Now this is a really pretty palette. I really did like this. This is the sister palette to it. This is the LA Color Cool palette. I didn't like it as much. The nude palette was a whole lot better palette for $3. So these are two from Dollar General. Now this is the Maybelline Lemonade Craze. I really did enjoy the Lemonade Craze. I had the Pop palette, the Soda Pop palette. I did not like it. I did color did, but I really did like the Lemonade Craze palette. Here are a couple Morphe palettes. This is the Morphe 15B that my friend Susan sent me. And this palette is gorgeous. I especially love these three shades right here. They are absolutely gorgeous. These are my favorite Morphe palettes, this size right here. I'm not really big on huge palettes, so these are just the perfect size for me. And these shades are gorgeous. They work and perform so well, so I really enjoy that. This is the Blend the Rules palette. I got this in one of my boxes that I got. I can't remember if it was Ipsy or which one it was, but this is the 15N. And let me show you these plums right down here. Are they not gorgeous? I see wearing these a lot this fall. I think this palette is beautiful. My one thing about Morphe is they just put too many browns in palettes. Just too many browns. Everything you see is brown, brown, brown. I just wish they would do more plums in these palettes. I mean, I just really wish they put too many browns. I just wish they would put me some more plums in there. If you're going to be a plum palette, put me some more plums and not so many browns. Here are two Makeup Revolution palettes. This one I bought at Marshall's, I think. This is the Flawless Matte 2, a really, really pretty palette. I haven't used it yet, but it's really, really pretty. And this one is one my niece Sarah got me for my birthday. This is the Fortune Favors the Brave. And it is really pretty. I love this one. I actually prefer it over the other one. It has got some really pretty glitters. Look at that blue with the gold running through it. Look at this corner right here with the plums in it. Absolutely beautiful. And I love that peach right there. So I really do love this palette. I prefer it over the one in the red. Love, love, love that. Here is the Alamar Cosmetics palette. This came in an Ipsy, or no, a BoxyCharm box. And this palette is really pretty. This takes me outside my comfort zone with these blues right here and this really pretty shade right here on the top. So I really do enjoy that palette. And this is a Makeup Revolution palette. This is a dupe for the Subculture. It's not as bold as the Subculture palette, so when I want the Subculture colors, but I don't want something as bold and bright because this takes more working to build up, this is the palette that I go to, so I really do enjoy that. This is a magnetic palette from Ofra. This has just got some odds and ends shades in it. So I think there's like some Suva and Ofra and a Sephora shade in it, and I'm not sure what this one is. I'm not sure what that is. Some odds and ends shades there. And here is a Bakery Beauty Neapolitan Ice Cream palette. Look at the shades in there. Are those not gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. Love those. This is a Tetris and Ipsy collab. So this came in my Ipsy box. This is really not my cup of tea, so this may be going into a giveaway. These shades right here are really pretty, but those are the only two shades in it. I would probably use or maybe those three right there. I'm really not sure if I'm going to keep this or if that's going to go into a giveaway. Not even color swatch that one. Here's a Pixie, and it's Judy Time. I really do like this palette. I've used it quite a bit. Really do enjoy that. Here is one of my favorite palettes. This is the Tartlet palette by Tarte. Love that. Love the way it smells. This right here, the center row, is my favorite row. Now I know these on the end right here are not dark skin friendly, but take those out and the rest of it would be beautiful for anyone with dark skin, because I know my friends with dark skin say, well, you know, I waste my money getting those three shades right there, but it still is a beautiful palette, and I do love that. Now, my friend Lisa Jack sent me this palette right here, and when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I can't wear blues. This is the Icy Beach palette, from Tarte, but let me tell you, I love this palette. It is beautiful. It pushes me out of my comfort zone. I adore this palette. I used it the other day. Did a bright, bold eye. My friend Pam says, now those are some blue eyes, but let me tell you, I love those blue eyes. I love this palette. Pushes me out of my comfort zone, but heck, I need it sometimes, and I was feeling a little frisky that day. I love that palette. And here is another one by Tarte. This is styled by Harouche. This palette is no longer available, but I love it. I love the blush. That color is beautiful, beautiful peach. Just a beautiful palette, and I love that. My friend Susan gave me that palette, and I thank you, Susan Anthony. That palette is beautiful, and I really do adore that palette. So let me get these palettes out of my way, and I will show you all some more palettes. I'm trying to do this quickly because we have limited time. My camera likes to cut itself off after a certain time, and yeah, that's just how it likes to do. Okay, my most expensive palette that I have is my Tom Ford palette. My dear sweet husband got me this palette for Christmas. These palettes are $88. And there's another Tom Ford palette that I want. And I said after my last declutter, if I decluttered so many palettes, that I would buy that Tom Ford palette. I haven't bought it yet. $88 is a lot of money. Especially since I bought myself a car and I paid it off in 6 months. It was a used car, but still I paid it off in 6 months. Now I'm getting ready to have eye surgery, and I had to go to the bank and borrow $4,000 because my insurance will not cover part of the surgery. And yeah, it's just, yeah, you know how things go. My eyes is a little bit more important than an eyeshadow palette, but look at that. That has seen some love, and I love this palette. Tom Ford formula is amazing. So if you ever get the opportunity to buy a Tom Ford palette, it's beautiful. I do recommend it, and I would love to have the other one. But right now there's more important things going on in my life than buying an $88 eyeshadow palette. Now here is an eyeshadow palette that I put together. There are some Anastasia, there are some Ulta Beauty, there are some Urban Decay, there's just different brands in here, and I love this palette. I use it quite often. It's just some colors that I enjoy using together, and that's what's in that palette. Here are some ColourPop palettes, and I've got the Yes Please palette at my niece's. She got me for my birthday, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. She got me the other palette. So she got me 2 palettes, and then she got me something else for my birthday. I'll show that in another video. But here is one that Lisa Jack sent me for my birthday. This is the Just My Luck palette. Lisa, thank you so much. She knows I love green. And yes, I'm doing this fast, but I've got a lot of palettes. I'm trying to get through them because I hate long videos. So I'm talking speed talk like I used to have to do sometimes in commercials on the radio. But anyway, this is beautiful. Look at those greens. Look at that shade right there and that shade right there. I just love olive green shades. I just think they're so complimentary to my eyes and my skin. And I just love this palette. It is absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait to dig into this palette. I'm going to do that one day this week. And Amy from I can't think what it is. Amy, you know who you are. You want to do a collab. We need to get together and do a collab before I have my eye surgery. So we will definitely be doing a collab with this. Crystallis, Amy from Crystallis. She wants to do a collab. So Amy, you and I will be getting together and doing a collab with this palette. So yes, we want to do a collab with that. Here is my Disney designer collection. This is the Princess palette. When I saw this palette, I had to have this. This was my first ColourPop palette. And I absolutely adore this palette. The shades in this are beautiful. I loved it. Like I said, when I saw that, I had to have it. Look at the packaging on that. Isn't it beautiful? I know, a grown woman, I'm 60 years old, having to have the Disney Princess palette. But yes, I had to have it. I thought it was beautiful. And I'm so glad I got it because I do. I think it's beautiful. So yeah, I got it. And here is another one that Lisa Jack sent me a couple years ago or last year for Christmas. This is the ColourPop All I See Is Magic palette. And look at that. That is beautiful. You get so many gorgeous looks out of this palette. I can't tell you how many looks I have got out of this palette. This shade right here is absolutely stunning. I love to use it with that shade, this shade with that shade, or this shade with that shade. It is just, you can get so many looks out of that palette. I tell you, I think sometimes you could just use that one palette for a month and get so many gorgeous looks out of it. It is absolutely beautiful. So that's a beautiful palette. And here is my Double Entendre palette. I think this is a beautiful palette. I love this. Absolutely beautiful. I think the packaging on it is so pretty too. Love that packaging. And then here is another one that Lisa Jack sent me for my birthday. This is the California Love. I had never seen this palette, and Lisa sent it. I guess it's because she's from California, so she sent me some California Love. But look at these glitter shades in here. Is that not stunning? Look at those. They are beautiful. And Lisa, I love you. Thank you for sending me California Love. So, those are my ColourPop palettes. Now here is my Only Ellen Tracy palette. This is Forged in Fire. This is really pretty. I thought this would be pretty to use this fall. I haven't used it yet, but I got this at Marshall's. I think I only paid like $3 for this. Marshall's or TJ Maxx or one of them. It was really inexpensive, but I thought that was a really pretty palette, and so I picked it up for $3. Now I have, I'm going to go ahead and show you these 4 Too Faced palettes, and I got the rest of my Too Faced palettes over there, but this is my Too Faced Sugar Cookie palette, and this is just the cutest little palette. Love, love, love this little palette. It smells like sugar cookies, but it is absolutely adorable. This was released last year, and I adore it. It's so cute. I love tiny little palettes. I think it is adorable. Now, this is my favorite of all the Too Faced palettes. This is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. This, like I said, is my favorite of all their palettes that they made or have made. The packaging is absolutely stunning, but what's inside just is it. Absolutely beautiful. All matte shades, just beautiful. I love this palette. You'd have to pry this one out of my cold dead hands. I adore that palette. Now here is one that I didn't think I wanted. I didn't pay $45 for it. I still wouldn't pay $45 for it, even though I really do enjoy using this. I bought one for my niece Erica, and when I looked at it, I decided yes, I wanted it, and yes, I would pay $25 for it because I've got to get a lot of use out of it for $25, but I still would not pay $45 for it. But I got this at Marshall's for $25, and I enjoy it for $25, but still would not pay $45 for that. That's the White Peach palette. Hey, Bells. Hey, Bells. Everybody want to see the bells? Everybody want to see the bells? Everybody want to see the bells? Hi, honey. You want some treats? Does Bells want some treats? Does Bells want some treats? Oh, Bells don't want treats there. Bells wants treats down here. Here, honey. Now she took one with her. That's what she did. Okay. Here is another Too Faced palette. This is I Believe in Pink. This is a Christmas palette. And this is a really pretty palette. Here are two Winky Lux palettes. This is a Winky Lux Kitten palette. This came in one of my subscription boxes, and I really do enjoy this. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but a lot of people didn't even try it. I really do enjoy this formula. I love this shade right here. This shade right here is so pretty. It is one of those color shift shades. Really, really pretty, so I enjoy this. This is the Cashmere Kitten palette that I did declutter in my last declutter, but I got it out because, heck, I paid $25 for it. I had only used it once, so I feel like I didn't give it a try. And so I decided I wanted to give it a try because those that purple and that mauve shade right there I really did like. And, yeah, I wanted it. It has kittens on it, and it's mine. And I decided I was going to get it back out and keep it for myself because, yeah, I wanted it. I wanted to give it a try, and, yeah, it's mine. Then here is an Ulta Beauty Z palette, and it's got Anastasia, I think, or let's see, it's got Ulta Beauty, and I know this one right here is Urban Decay. So it's got Ulta and Urban Decay eyeshadows in it. Then here is an Avon eyeshadow palette, and this is in the shades Gilded Metallics. I already showed you all those and those, so let's see. So here are two Makeup Revolution palettes. This is the Emily Edits palette, and this is a great palette for a beginner or somebody who's traveling. It's not really dark skin friendly, but it's a beautiful palette, and I do enjoy this. I like to take this back and forth to work with me because it's got everything that I would need. Just, you know, if I needed powder, if I needed eyeshadows, highlighter, blush, bronzer, it's everything right there in one convenient thing except for an eyeshadow. So it's great for that. And then when I bought the Emily Edit Once, I bought 3 of these, one for me, one for Erica, and one for Sarah, because all 3 of us wanted this, and we were having a hard time getting it, and it did not disappoint because it was everything that the 3 of us expected it to be. It was like, every color we needed. So I love the Emily Edit Once palette. And then here is my Modern Neutrals 28 color eyeshadow palette from BH Cosmetics. I love this palette. My friend Susan Dotson gave me this palette. It is absolutely beautiful. This is the first time I ever wore grays and blues, and these shadows are gorgeous, and I love these shadows right here. I mean, this eyeshadow palette is just beautiful. I love, love, love it, and very, very happy with it. Now here is the Pure Soirées Diary palette. I got this in one of my boxes, and as you can see, this palette is very loved because I've already hit pan right there. This palette brings me joy. I really do love this palette, and yeah, love it. Here is my BH Cosmetics Crawly Bible palette. I had the second edition of this and gave it away in a declutter because I just enjoy the smaller version better. And as you can see, it has had a lot of love on it because I've already hit pan right there. And I love the beautiful eye looks that I get out of this. And yeah, love, love, love that. Here is a Profusion palette, and this is the Profusion Matte. This is what I have on today. These are nice buttery shades. I really do enjoy this. I think this would be a great fall palette, and I think I only paid like $5 or $6 for this. I really enjoy that palette, and I will be buying some more Profusion eyeshadows after trying that palette. Here is a Pure Festival palette. This is the first time that I think I have kept an eyeshadow palette that had this much glitter and bright colors in it out of one of my boxes. But when I saw this palette made me smile, and I'm like, yes, I want to keep that palette. That palette is so beautiful. Here is a Kat Von D 10th anniversary palette. I no longer support Kat Von D, but I will not be getting rid of the things that I already own by her. I don't necessarily believe where she stands on some certain things, but like I said, I've already paid for these items, and I'm not throwing them away or giving them away because I do like them, I do use them. I just will no longer be purchasing anything from her, and will not be using them on my channel. I have two things by The Balm. This is Meet Matrimony, and yes, this is a beautiful palette. It's all mattes, and I do really like this palette. The colors in it are so buttery and so nice. I really do enjoy using it. I love them with the black. I'm not a big black eyeshadow wearer. I think it kind of just doesn't go well with my fair skin, and I just kind of think it's a wasted shade in a palette for me. I know people say if it don't have a black, I don't want it, but it just doesn't work for me. So, you know, it's like some people can't wear a white or a cream in an eyeshadow palette. Well, the black don't work for me. So, you know. And this is the In the Balm of Your Hand, Volume 2. I recently got this in one of my boxes, and loving it. This is what it looks like. Absolutely stunning. Happy, 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 happy girl. And I love, love, loving that. And so glad I got it. I mean, I'm like, where have you been? Where have you been all my life? I love, love, love you. So now let me get this little, let's get up here. So here are my 4 Marc Jacobs palettes. This is from a couple of Christmases ago. This is the All About Last Night, number 240. You know, these are $99 each. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Then here are my 3 long palettes. These have all been discontinued, but I love them. I will not get rid of them for nothing. This is the Lever palette. This is the number 220. This is the Perfect Wedding palette. As you can see, my palettes are dirty because they are loved. They need cleaned up. But look at those pink shades. Is that not beautiful? Love that. You know, Tati keeps hers behind her on a shelf. These palettes mean so much to her. This is the Lolita number 206 palette, and look at that. Is that not stunning? This is my favorite brown palette. Beautiful. And last but not least, when I want a gold or a silver or a copper, this is the palette I go to. This is the Starlight number 204 palette. Let me tell you, these shades are stunning. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? I can't see if you're seeing it or not. I hope you can see. That palette is beautiful, and I love it. Then I have a BYS glitter palette. I have this little LA Colors gray palette. Then I have the Wet n Wild Petalette. Then I have this Physicians Formula palette. This, for me, it's called Oh So Sexy, but this is a collector's item for me. I will not use it. My niece Erica got me this, and I just think it's too pretty to use, so I will not use that. And this is a Bitsy palette that my friend Sean in Alaska got me, and this is beautiful. You can get these at Sally's Beauty, and they are just gorgeous. Then I have two Cargo palettes. This is the Cargo Emerald City palette, and this is Seattle, Washington. And look at this, they're broke up into quads. Here's my green quad, here's my brown quad, and there's my gold quad. They're beautiful. I love this palette, and need to give it more love. And here is the You Had Me at Aloha. Yes, Tom Selleck, you had me at Aloha. Tell you, that man still is hot at 70 years old. But here, this one's also broke up in quads. You have your plum quad, you have your green and brown quad, then you have your yellow gold quad. Absolutely a beautiful palette. I've not used this yet. I need to drag this out and use it. It's beautiful. And then I have some W7 palettes. Now I need to do a video telling you which ones dupe what palettes. One of these dupes like the Naked 1, one dupes like the Naked 2. And I'm not sure which is which, but I'm going to show you. This is the Lightly Toasted. I think this one may dupe like the Naked 2. I'm not sure. I'll look it up and I'll let you know. And here is the Buff palette. And here is the Nude palette. This one I think is supposed to dupe the Naked 3. This one is the Enchanted palette. And this one is supposed to dupe the Nabla Soul Blooming palette, which sells for $45. Here is the Violet Lights palette, which dupes the Norvina palette. This is the On the Rocks palette, which dupes the Subculture palette. And here is the Seduced palette, which I did a video on already, which dupes the Sultry palette. So let me get these out of the way. I am missing one of my, now here it is. So I have three Natasha Denona mini palettes. I have the Natasha Denona Nude palette. I have the Natasha Denona Lila palette. And I have the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset palette. Now, a lot of people say that these are not as good quality as the larger palettes, but I have no idea because I don't have the larger palettes. But here is the Mini Sunset palette. Here is the Mini Nude palette. And here is the Mini Lila palette. Here is a really good LA Colors matte palette for $2. This is a beautiful plum. I get a really pretty look every time I use this palette. And here is the Wonderlust Seascape palette. Probably going to put this in a giveaway because this just isn't me. Here is another Profusion. This is the Mixed Metals. Here is a LA Colors palette that my niece Erica got me. A lot of really pretty looks out of that. Here is the e.l.f. Posh Peacock palette. Beautiful greens. Here is an e.l.f. Bird of Paradise palette, which gets some really pretty looks out of this palette. Here is the Cargo Enjoy Your Journey palette. Just a really pretty brown neutral palette. Maybelline City Mini Urban Jungle palette, golds and greens. Here is the Avon Romantic Mauves palette. Really pretty palette. Get a really pretty eye look out of this. I need to take this up and do a look on Mom with that. Here is the Comfort Zone palette from Wet n Wild. I had the original and broke it, so I bought this one. This one is beautiful. This is a Laura Geller Chocolates palette. Beautiful looks out of that. Too bad it doesn't smell like chocolate. Here is the Icon Mini palette in Royal Tea. Really pretty plums and green in this. Here are two Huda Obsessions. I've got the Emerald Obsession and the Mauve Obsession. My niece Erica got me the Emerald Obsession for my birthday, and I'm already obsessed with it. Isn't that gorgeous? And here is the Mauve Obsession. Here are two Smith & Colt Book of Eyes. I've got one in plums and one in bronzes. These are definitely overpriced. These are $44 a piece, and they are definitely overpriced. I hope I can get them open. Here is the plums. The sideways of that absolutely aggravates the heck out of me. And there's the bronze. Here are two Urban Decay palettes. Here is the Naked Basics 2 and the Naked Petite Heat. I absolutely love this one. I've taken this one many times when I go traveling. You can see I've got a lot of use out of that one. And here is the Urban Decay Petite Heat. I got rid of the large Naked Heat palette because all I needed was this one right here. Here is Beauty Control. Here is the Wisteria Lane. And here is Passion. Beauty Control no longer exists as a company. And here is a Maybelline Emerald palette. Here is the Wet n Wild Hasta La Costa Baby. Here is a NYC Manhattan Mauves. And a BYS Neon, or BYS Neon. And now my last few palettes. Here's my two Lorac palettes. This is the Lorac Pro To Go. This is my Lorac Pro 3 palette. This is my Anastasia Sultry palette, which Erica gave me, but I'm going to give that back to her. This is my Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. Absolutely stunning. This is my Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette, which I think is gorgeous. This is my Butter London Natural Goddess palette. Absolutely beautiful palette.